the industry, and I thought about it a lot and thought about my voice. I actually had someone when I was doing an interview a couple months ago said, you know, she sounds like she stayed up all night smoking too many darts, and I said, well, I fucking have. And that's just the truth. And if you know that was anyone else, you know, it's kind of like you're weathered or you're aged or you've been through it, and you know, we'll talk about it as we go. But there over the last year, I noticed a really big change in my voice, kind of a heaviness to it. And I experienced some heavy things, and so I feel like it is a reflection. It is kind of a scar in a sense, but also just by it was kind of a gift also, because I was able to understand my instrument. No one ever explained that to me. You know, I sat in a room with the piano and did scales and shit, but no one taught me about how do you have long grip. You know, you are here with athletes all the time, and recovery days are the most important days. I didn't get recovery days. That was not important for someone that was making so much capital for such a big corporation. You know, the off days are days that money's not coming in, and I definitely probably didn't get the training that I needed to say, hey, you know what, I don't want to do this till I'm 15. I want to do this till I'm 80. And that wasn't always considered. Definitely not complaining. It gave me an amazing launch pad for everything I'm doing now. But I hear it.
But it had to be really odd to be working that much and be a young girl.
The balance it trained me to have is something that I don't think you are going to get taught any other way besides jumping in the deep end of the pool and hoping you know how to swim. That's the only way. There was no way I could have prepared for the amount of balance I would have to learn to kind of teeter, because, you know, at one point, again, it went from, it was school, then it went from, you know, how much weed can I actually smoke and still play a teenage superstar on the Disney Channel? and then like
What's the answer to that question?
more than you would fucking think. I remember one time when, and I don't smoke anymore, and I'm sober.
How long have you been sober
But
for?
I've been sober since pretty much the vocal surgery kind of did it for me, because I just learned so much about the effects, which again you're just not taught. It's not really the drinking; it's staying up all night. You know, once you have your drink, you end up smoking, and I've become the face of a lot of things, kind of against my will, I guess. From my opinions, when you're someone in my position, your opinion becomes your identity, and it also becomes kind of almost like you kind of become this like preacher. You become this, you know, they don't really let you just always have your own opinion. So I've decided to start telling people, I live my own lifestyle. Alcohol was never my problem. There was other things that I end up, you know, I like to go up. So I now just avoid really drinking, because I like to wake up at 110%, but it's never really been my problem, and I could see myself having a drink of celebration in the future. But I get so fucking hungover now that I'm like, why would I celebrate with like just feeling like a volcano's erupted in my brain, you know? So it's really just a personal preference, but it's definitely not anything that I promote in. I think it's a lifestyle I think everyone should experiment. It's a good time, and you learn a lot of things about yourself and the people around you. But now I'm watching, I have younger siblings, and they're going through that, and I don't know how my mom did it with me, because it's scary.
Yeah, I think if we're going to acknowledge the fact that all these things exist, cocaine exists, pills exist, marijuana exists, we should teach people how to do it right.
Yeah.
Really, I mean, you're leaving children. It's the same thing with sex, right?
Yeah.
We leave children to there's the information that they're going to get is from other kids.
Yeah.
And if you're learning about sex from another 14-year-old, or you're learning about coke from a 14-year-old, that's not good.
Yeah.
Like we play this game with children where we try to pretend that, you know, they live in a movie.
All right, well, listen to this. It's actually funny you bring this up, because I had the idea this week, not that I really have time to do this in the near future, but I would like to at some point in my life. I want to do my own children's book series of realistic children's stories, because I don't like the idea that we teach them that this is sunshine world and everyone walks on a rainbow and everyone's equal, and you need to say, like, that's not, what are you going to do about it? That's not true. What are you going to do about it? And I think there's a way to not terrify children of life, even though I go in and out of periods where I think life is really overwhelmingly terrifying. And that's coming from my position. And my position, I tell myself all the time, if you're not enjoying this life, honey, you got it coming in the next one, because I better fucking love this life. It's the best one. I couldn't imagine being in a different body and having a different experience.
It's an awesome life if you do it the right way.
It's an awesome life. And I also I didn't hurt myself beyond repair in my experiences. I survived, and I don't even mean heart still beating survival. I mean, I have a lot of people that love me around. I didn't kick all the people that had my best interest at heart out. That's where you die. Is you kick everyone that says, "Hey, are you okay?" You know, out. No, of course I'm okay. If you don't trust me, get the fuck out.
Right.
And so now that I have people that I've had in my life, I feel that I have people in my life that I've known for 15, 20 years, and not many people in my position get to say that. My parents are awesome. My dad's loopy as hell, but I love him so much. He has no way of ever hearing this because my dad doesn't have Wi-Fi or anything but a BlackBerry, so I can tell you what I got him for his birthday. My dad has 2 BlackBerries, which equal an iPhone, which is not true, but that's what he says. So for his birthday, he said that he wanted to see if he could go 365 days without eating pizza because he had never done it before. So my dad has now gone a year without having pizza, and my dad loves bubble baths. He's gonna kill me for saying this, but his country ass loves bubble baths.
That's hilarious.
And so he loves to smoke his joint, eat his pizza, and get a bubble bath. So he said, that's what I'm gonna do for my birthday. So for his birthday, I've organized a 5-foot pizza to be delivered to his farm so he can have all he can eat. And I'm the pizza delivery person on the box. I had someone draw it where it's me with my tongue out and a mullet delivering the pizza. And I got a bathtub on Craigslist, and I put it, my dad has 500 acres, so I put it in the middle of the farm, filled with bubble gum, just like my music video. And so my dad's gonna have a bubble gum bathtub and a 5-foot pizza for his birthday.
That's adorable.
That's next week.
I like the fact that he has no Wi-Fi, no internet.
No
Good for
Wi-Fi,
him.
no internet. Every
Probably
now and
feels
then,
good that way.
he'll drive to my uncle's house to FaceTime us every now and then.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Well, he has to make a drive to
You got,
FaceTime.
it's not far. All of us are just like, my dad's kept us a pebbles throw away for sure. We all live on property. We all live really close to each other.
So if you did this thing, like if you really decided to do children's books, like realistic children's books, like how would you do that? Would you get a ghost author and sort of come up with the ideas of what you were trying to get across to kids?
Well,
what do you wish somebody told you?
I like that you mentioned that no one talks to us about drugs. I know this is going to be controversial to introduce drugs to kids. I think that there's a way, and I have to think about it. Wayne Coyne, who's a good friend of mine, and I did the Dead Pets record with him. Flaming Lips have been my favorite band since I was in 5th grade, and he's obviously an amazing artist. And he just had his first child, 1.5 years old. He's 60, he just had a baby. They're coming to visit me right now. And I would have him do all the illustrations, so it stays in that kind of surrealist world. Because I think that's what would get the kids to want to read this book, is that the illustrations are still surreal. And I like that about children's books. But I do think that we do need to talk about, you know, equality, and I do think there needs to be diversity in children's books. And I think also we just need to talk about the fact, I was actually happy to talk to you today because I didn't get to do therapy today because I was with you, but it's kind of the same thing. And I was talking to him and I said, you know, sometimes it scares me that I'm too tough. And I feel like I'm not jaded and I'm not cold, but I feel too tough. And he goes, well, I'm proud of that because life is tough. And it's not to get hard.
What do you mean by that? What do you mean by you feel like you
I-
don't like that you're too tough?
I feel that I worry sometimes that I can get over things easily. I don't fall to the floor and crawl up in a ball the way that I used to, and I think that's a part of me growing up. Like when, you know, I recently just went through a very public divorce that fucking sucked. What really sucked about it wasn't the fact that me and someone that I loved realized that we don't love each other the way that we used to anymore. That's okay. I can accept that. I can't accept the villainizing and the just all those stories that, like, it's just amazing to me that the public kind of thinks that there's no gap of time that they didn't see that could possibly be what led to this. Like, it's not one day you were happy on the carpet and the next day you were making out with your friend in Italy. What the fuck? Well, there was a lot of time in between that you didn't see. It didn't go.
Yeah.
I didn't, you know.
Yeah, but you can't rely on someone else's narrative, right?
No.
Like, especially someone who doesn't know you. You really shouldn't even read what people write about.
Well, what's crazy is my dad, again, you know, my dad's been a real figure in my life, and my dad, when he got his Grammy nomination, he went to the Grammys in a John 3:16 shirt, and he didn't get the Grammy. And the next day, the New York Post or someone put, even God can't save Billy Ray Cyrus in his career. And he was sitting next to Johnny Cash. They were going to something. I have a Johnny Cash tattoo that was handwritten to my dad from around that time. And he said, what the hell? Just like you say to me right now. You're my Johnny Cash. You know, he said, what the hell are you doing reading that?
Yeah.
And my dad said I just never really picked up the paper again. But again, my dad didn't buy that paper. It was just kind of in your face.
You should have thought that was funny.
He does now. Now he just says, well, whatever will get Johnny Cash to come and sit next to me and talk to me. Now he loves it. And it's been really good to have him go before me. You know, it's kind of that buddy system. I think it'd be really scary if I would have been able to see that. But to your point of, I don't click on this shit. You know, it comes into my life by
Other
a walk
people.
by a magazine
Right.
stand, which I like to walk
Yeah.
on the street, and it says like, Miley's on drugs.